Hey y'all, yesterday I was told that I have too much fat. I have too much fat. All this happened yesterday when I joined a new fitness club. And I was told that I was being given one free session with a personal trainer. And I took him up on it because I've got an injury and I wanted to make sure that I learned all the machines the proper way at this new club. So I meet with this personal trainer and he says that part of their deal is they've got to get my body mass index, the percentage of my fat, and my height and my weight and everything. So, before they start the tour and everything. So I went along with it. And as this personal fitness trainer is talking to me about all these little details and everything, and he gets my BMI and calculates my body fat percentage, he looks at me horrified. And he says to me that my BMI is 18 point something percent and my body fat percentage is 35%. And he just looks horrified and says, "That's terrible. You have way too much fat. We have to do something about this," on and on and on. He starts lecturing me about diet. I eat so well, and it doesn't even matter. I mean, who cares what I eat? But then he he asked me about my weight, and I told him, and he doesn't believe me. And he says, "Do me a favor and come step on the scale." So I did, and of course I weighed exactly what I said that I weighed. And he said, "I don't understand it. How do you eat like you do and you weigh what you do?" Long story short, he kept on about my body fat and that he has to do something about it. And I told him I was not going to be working with him, that I feel great the way I am, and I feel like I look great. I mean, I told him I'm very happy with my body, and I'm happy with my so-called body fat. Anyway, so what I found, he ended up giving me a tour of the whole club and everything, and I worked out. And when I went home that night, I was so bugged by it, so bugged. And I kept telling my boyfriend, I'm like, find the fat on me. It's like, it doesn't even matter, but it mattered to me because it bothered me so much. I didn't feel shamed. Like, I knew this guy was, I don't think his intent was to body shame me, but it bugged me. And I thought, what if I didn't like my body? What if I was ashamed of the way I looked? That body shaming is horrible. But this nagged at me because it pissed me off so much. I calculated my body fat percentage by hand, and I'm actually about 30% body fat, and I think it looks great, and it's actually very healthy. A woman without body fat and a man without body fat, what are you going to lubricate your joints with? How is your hair going to be smooth and your skin going to glow, etc.? And that's even beside the point. But the reality of it is, when you body shame somebody, that is such a wound to their soul. And why is somebody wanting so badly to control another person, to control how they look, how they feel? If somebody wants to be 60% body fat, let them. If somebody wants to be fat, let them. Celebrate who they are and don't criticize them or knock them. It was so horrible, that guy doing that, especially to somebody who tends to be on the thin side and tends to struggle keeping weight on. But regardless, even if it's somebody who's overweight and has trouble keeping weight off, we should accept everybody for who they are, how they look, and not criticize and not try to pick them apart. And I wanted to share that experience with you. That was actually my very first experience ever with body shaming. And the way that affected me, and the way that now I can empathize with others. I mean, I've always thought it was horrible, that whole body shaming, but I had never experienced that for myself. I'd always been teased about being short and being tiny. And it never really bothered me because I don't think of myself as short and tiny. But this one really bothered me from the opposite effect, because I know for a fact that I'm not fat. And the way that he tried to do it was just so ridiculous. I know I'm going to be asked, which health club was it? It was LA Fitness. I did join the club and I am going to work out there, but I did want to share this story with y'all because it was so ridiculous. It was so horrifying, and it pissed me off so much. I'm Marisa Vallbona, Live Inspired.